Hello everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We'll give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greatest successes, amazing behind the scenes, and much more. Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today I'm very happy because we have with us the legendary shaper and surfer Craig Hollingsworth. Let's discover more about his career, Lightning Bolt, Hansen, and much more. Hi Craig and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I'm in Encinitas, California.
How is it going over there in the time of coronavirus? How is it going?
It's actually going pretty good. It hasn't really affected me at all. I shape at home, and I've been very busy the whole time, and my glasses are glassing, and the truckers are trucking, and so everything's been going good. Very busy with the Lightning Bolts and the Hansen. And yes, they opened the beaches so we can surf now, which is good. And the surf shops just opened on Friday, so things are starting to move around here. Not every business is open, but many are, or some are. And the people in California are just kind of tired of the virus thing, and it hasn't really hit here really hard like it has in Italy or New York. It's for instance, there's 3.3 million people in San Diego County, and there's been I think 190 deaths. And personally, I haven't known one person that has died from it. Not died from it. I don't even know one person that even had the virus. My daughter may have had it over the Christmas holidays, like between Christmas and New Year's. And she had a bad virus for about 5 days. So that's before we heard of the coronavirus. So she may have had it in December or January. And but yeah, things are starting to pick up around here as far as movement. People are starting to leave their homes, and the traffic's starting to pick up and all that.
So today we are going to talk about, of course, surfboards, shaping, and much more. But the first question that I have for you is, what, in your opinion, is the most important thing in surfing?
Well, the waves and surfboards.
Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to have a wave and you got to have a surfboard. And then after that, everything else is butter on the toast. You just, bathing suit or a wetsuit, and that's good.
Exactly, like as simple as it is, but the most efficient, right? So, how did all started your career as a shaper?
I started when I was pretty young. I started actually making plywood pipe-o belly boards in my garage when I was in junior high school. And then when I started, actually you can see them in the documentary Z-Boys and Dogtown and Z-Boys. You can see mine and Wes Humpston's plywood belly boards in Jeff Ho's surf shop in a couple of scenes. And then how I got into shaping, I was, being a young surfer and not having a lot of money, surfboards are not cheap. And so I started having people like Donald Takayama would shape my personal boards, and I would glass them myself in my garage in high school. And then after a while, I just started, shaping my own boards and glassing them. I was glassing other boards for other people, my friends. And then I just started shaping my own. And like first 21 boards I shaped weren't even for me; they were for friends. And so I kind of started my career that way, like back in high school.
Okay.
And then, so it worked out, and I just kind of had a gift for it, and then I got hired professionally at Nectar Surfboards in 1974, and I was their first shaper besides the owner Gary McNabb. And so I've been doing it ever since. I wasn't planning on making it my career, but just happened to work out that way.
Yeah, it's 47 years of shaping, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. Congratulations! It's fantastic. Fantastic thing. Who were your references? You spoke about Donald Takayama, of course. Who were the shapers that you were looking at when you were like at the beginning of your career?
Donald Takayama, and I was riding shortboard. Those are like little 6.7s and 6.5s and stuff from Donald. They weren't longboards. But yeah, Ben Ipa, Donald, Jerry Lopez. This is not in any particular order. Dick Brewer, Terry Fitzgerald. So those guys and Jeff Ho, they kind of influenced me a lot. They're kind of thought about the same way that I thought about, as far as progressive ideas. Because in the 70s, the boards changed a lot, so a lot of experimentation with different tails and bottoms and everything. And I always liked Ben Ipa's shapes and Terry Fitzgerald's and other people I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, all legendary shapers. But if you had to look at today, is there a new young upcoming shaper that you would recommend to follow?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different shapers out there. I don't know a lot of them, the new guys. I know Ryan Birch is very successful. He lives in my town, and I shaped some Hansens for him before, but I saw him start shaping, and he was really good right off the get-go, whether he's shaping a 10-foot log or a little shortboard. So he's very talented. And then a guy named DJ Kane, who's he's originally from Florida, but he moved out here right after high school. And he's a head shaper for Paizel here in California, and he's very talented on his own. And granted, he's shaping other people's shapes, but he's a very talented shaper where he can do shortboards and longboards and everything in between too.
Okay. Is there anything out there like the perfect board?
Well, to be honest, there's a lot of perfect surfboards. It's like what's the perfect food? What's your favorite Italian food? Is it is lasagna better than this, or is your Mexican food is enchilada better than the taco? So everything's good.
Yes.
They're just different. So like there's classic longboards from the 60s. They're timeless. Like some of the Hansen models. They worked in 50 years ago, 60 years ago. They still work great. So I do the classic Hansen boards, like the 50/50, the competitors, and those are. They're still great and wonderful. The original 3-fin thruster is a great board, and it's even like what Al Merrick did with his flyer, which was kind of a modern version of the original 3-fin thruster. That's just a timeless. That board always will work good. And the Mark Richards twin fin. That's a classic board that works great and always will. So it's just there's a lot of different boards that work good. They always will work good. I've experimented a lot of different shapes over my time, and I've got a lot of them down. Pat, whether they're a quad or a twin fin or a single fin. We've done them so long, and we've got them down where you do a different rail on a twin fin than you do a thruster, and so it's not one perfect surfboard. It's whatever is a perfect board for you.
Yeah.
Because everybody surfs differently. Like I surf kind of straight up and down, where like a Dane Kealoha, he surfs more in a squat position, lower center of gravity. So there's different shapes that work different for different people. Of course, it depends on the surf you're riding and size and ability. Are you 6'3" and 200 pounds? Or are you 5'7" and weigh 150? So there's different things. So that there's lots of great shapes out there. That's one reason why people have so many different boards. Why us shapers shape so many different boards.
So there is not the perfect board, but there is the perfect combination of a surfer and a surfboard. Yeah.
I mean, you might have a perfect longboard, but if you don't ride longboards, it's not perfect for you.
Yes, of course.
Or vice versa. You go, well, here's a perfect 6'2" thruster, but you weigh 250 pounds and you can't ride that board. But so there's a lot of of great shapes that we have perfected over the years, and they're timeless. They'll always be good, as long as the waves are the same and people are the same. They're going to be, just great boards, and kind of can't go wrong with them. If an average surfer wanted to buy a perfect board, they want a thruster, you go with this one. If you want a longboard, you go with that one. So there's, and including in longboards, there's ones that nose ride really good. There's other ones that turn really well. So that's why you got to have kind of different boards, because not every board's going to work for every situation. Are the waves 2 foot or are they 10 foot? So, but yeah, so there's a lot of great shapers out there, a lot of great designs, a lot of what we call a perfect surfboard. But some people might need 5 perfect surfboards, not just one.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I completely agree with you. What is the most important thing in shaping?
I don't know.
If you don't know, nobody knows, right?
Well, I don't know what's the most important thing, just because some things don't really matter. A board does not need to be perfectly symmetrical to work good, and they don't necessarily have to be pretty to work good. I've had boards where there's been a lot of people that have had boards that were like almost like mistakes that work great, like like the Black Beauty. That pin line was supposed to be a little pin line, and somehow it kept bleeding and ended up being an inch wide. And I made a board for a kid in Hawaii one time, and I was like a thruster, and I delivered it to him, and I was over there for a while, and after about a month, he comes to me and goes, "Craig, the center fin's not on straight; it's crooked." I go, "Really?" I go, "Look at it. I want you to sand it off and put it on straight." And I go, "Well, how's the board work?" He goes, "Oh, the board works great. It's the best board I ever had." I go, "Well, don't touch it. You take the fin out, put it on straight, you might not like it as much." So
yeah, exactly.
just leave it alone. So certain things that, aren't that important, but they are, to me, they are. Like I try to make, ever since I've shaped my first board or I was signing my name on it, I go, I try and strive to make it, as perfect as possible, both in shape and design and, being symmetrical where, each rail matches and things like that.
You shaped like, I guess, thousands of boards in your career, but what was the surfboard, like the most important surfboard that you ever bought or that has been ever given to you?
I don't know. I haven't had too many boards given to me. I started shaping at such a young age. I've never actually surfed for someone where people would give me free surfboards. Recently, last year, Rory Russell, he shaped me a board, so that was nice. So I have a Rory Russell lightning bolt pipeliner that he shaped for me as a gift.
Nice.
So that's close to my heart, and so that's probably the most important one I have.
Very good. Are you good friend of Rory Russell? Definitely a great legend as well.
Yeah, we've known each other for many years and done business together. And he used to have a surf school in Kona, and I used to do soft surfboards too, and I'd sell him soft surfboards for his surf school. But now through the lightning bolt, we've gotten closer together. And in fact, he was at my house on Sunday, delivering a blank for one of my our customers in Canary Islands, JJ. So he's with Wild Horizon Bolt, Tenerife, Canary Islands. So we're still close in touch, and we see each other fairly often. And he's a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. In your career, you shaped amazing boards, and I'm sure you have seen as well many clients and surfers from all over the world that were asking you to shape for them, right? And what was the craziest request that you ever received from a client?
Well, one of them, it's kind of weird. Like the tail was almost like the half of a toilet seat. So it was kind of like, I don't know if you call it a moon tail or what, but it was just really weird. And but yeah, usually I don't have too many weird requests. It usually just kind of, I do a lot of different boards, like belly boards and knee boards and other things. But generally, not too many crazy stuff.
Okay.
if the designs might be kind of out of whack, I might talk to me to changing it a little bit so the board will work better.
Okay, cool. What are your future plans? So today you are shipping boards for Hansen for Lightning Bolt. Is there any particular plan that you have for the next year to come?
Right now, I'm just doing my work. I have a lot of work right now, and basically I shape. That's kind of what I've been doing for many years. That's kind of what I do. I just shape boards for for the Hansens and Lightning Bolt. I went over to Europe Rory and I went over to Europe last May for Lightning Bolt and did like 5-country tour, 4 weeks. It was great. And I was planning on going back to Portugal this summer or spring to shape, but with the coronavirus, that got put on hold. So we'll see if this thing goes away soon and I get to go to Europe and shape some more. Not any huge plan, just kind of doing what I do. Like to start traveling again once this thing's over with too.
Like business as usual, but traveling is the most important thing right now. We need to go back to the old habits, right? So I hope it will become possible very soon. We're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind, okay?
Okay.
The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
I've had a few that I really, really enjoyed over the year, like what we call magic surfboards. One of them was a 6.5 Sting I made. I came back from Kauai in 1975. I was over in Kauai for the summer, and I ran into Buttons and Mark Lydell and another one of Van Eyck shape surfers, and they were all riding these Stings. I never saw one before. So when I got home, I shaped myself one, and that was one of my favorite boards of all time. There's a single fin, and then I don't know. I've had a few, but that one sticks in my mind. I've always liked swallowtails. I still ride them. Lately, I've been riding like double wing swallow quads, and you get a lot of punch out of them. They turn fast and go fast. And I'm a older, bigger guy now, so I can't ride 5.10s or 6.2s anymore. So this way, a bigger guy can ride a board that's, even though it is larger, it still performs well. It goes fast, and you can turn it, and so you still can do what you want to do, but still be able to catch a wave because of your age and weight.
Yeah. I'm a big guy too, so I know what does it mean. Best shaper of all time?
Oh, I would probably have to say Dick Brewer. I'm not necessarily he definitely is, but he's probably could be. His history and what he's done, and all the boards he's made. He didn't necessarily invent any one design, like how Simon Anderson kind of came up with a thruster, and Van Eyck did this Sting, but his boards were tried and true. Whether they're short boards or long boards, and he definitely got the history behind him, and he's probably one of the most influential shapers. He's influenced tons of people, tons of shapers, including myself. And he's shaped boards for like Mark Richards and Michael Ho and lots of people. So he's probably, in my book, might be probably the best shaper that there was or is.
Cool, definitely. Personal question: your favorite song?
Oh, God. I was hoping you weren't going to ask any questions like this.
or your favorite musician? Well,
it's like I was saying earlier about surfboards or Italian food or Mexican food. Like, when people ask me what's my favorite food, how can you say what's your favorite food when there's so many great foods out there? And say like with songs, it's like
or musician.
I can't think of what my favorite song would be.
Okay. Cool. Maybe I'm more lucky with your favorite surf spot.
Favorite surf spot? Well, recently, well, the last 20, 30 years where I live, I surf swamis a lot. But there's so many great waves in the world, but that's just because it's in my backyard. So swamis has been my favorite place for years. But I love Trestles, Malibu, Pacalas on the west side of Kauai, which is Dick Brewer's favorite surf spot, and at the left point, even though I'm regular foot. And there's so many great waves out there. I used to surf on Honolulu a lot, and so it's kind of So there's a handful of my favorite spots. How's that?
Cool. Best surfer of all time.
Well, I'm not going to say the one having the most fun, but that's another hard one. You might say Kelly's favorite just because of his contest record, but there's so many good ones for different time zones, like time period, like Barry Kahanamoku, Jerry Lopez. Even though they weren't necessarily contest surfers, so and then the new guys, are phenomenal, like what they're doing on waves, like John, and the Brazilians. They're just like crazy. These aerial flips and everything. I can't even comprehend doing that stuff. When I was young, I was a pretty good surfer, but that's just taking everything to another level with these skateboard moves. Hard. That's another hard one to say because style is important. Terry Fitzgerald was very stylish and fast, and so there's a lot of great Australians and a lot of great Hawaiians and Californians for that matter.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's different. It's difficult to find like the right one, because if you look at the past and the present, is a totally different surfing, right? So and like certain guys were big wave surfers, some guys were small wave surfers, and if you watch the contest now, everybody in the contest are great. They get the tube, they almost always come out. Of course the equipment's a little bit better now than it was, but like Lopez at Pipeline was, he was beautiful. Jock Sullivan was not a great surfer, and there's just so many. Tom Curran, there's so many great surfers that were just phenomenal. Aki and just Tom Carroll. There's so many. Okay, but thanks a lot for this journey through the time. The last question is completely unusual, so we want to know, and not surf related. So we want to know your best relationship advice.
Well, probably my best relationship was and is with the ocean. I really love the way it feels, just like whether you're swimming or surfing or you're sitting on your board waiting for the next wave, just how the swells rise and fall, and it's so relaxing and serene. Often many times to be out by myself, whether it be the morning or the afternoon, and it's just quiet. All you hear is the ocean, and just being one with it, and just enjoying it, and getting the exercise, and having the water soothe your body and your soul.
I love this. I actually let you continue because it was really, really interesting. But my question was your best relationship advice.
I don't know.
I don't know. Can be run.
No. Well, actually, I do. Probably the golden rule: treat others like you want others to treat you. And there's no room in this world for hatred or prejudice or anything like that. So you treat people the way you want to be treated. We all are on the same planet. We're all breathe the same air, no matter you're rich or poor, black or white, or whatever religion. So just treat everyone equally and with respect and kindness and, the aloha spirit. Just be a good human being.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. Thanks a lot, Craig, for being on the show with us today, and look forward to talk to you very soon. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure for me too, and we could do this again sometime.
Of course. Of course, anytime soon. Maybe we can do you and Rory together.
That might be, yeah. You never know.
We'll see.
He's a good one.
Cool. Thanks a lot for your time, and talk to you very soon. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Ciao. Bye-bye. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!